So hello guys, my name is Saowaluk, but you could just call me Yoon. I'm now a medical doctor at Health Center at Ratchaburi Province, Thailand. And
เสียงเมื่อกี้เสียงเสียงเสียงแตกมากค่ะอาจารย์
เสียงแตกเหรอคะ
ค่ะแต่ไม่ได้ฟังไม่เคลียร์เลยค่ะ
Okay, could you hear me better in here? Hello?
Yeah, it's better. It's better.
It's better here, right? Okay, let's change it for a bit. Here. Okay, is it better now?
Better. It's very good.
Okay, thank you. So, but before we start, I would like you guys to guess the number of 13 to 15 years old using some form of tobacco. Is it 4 million, 8 million, 18 million, or 40 million? Well, what do you guys think? Well, I hope you have some answer in mind. The answer is more than 43.8 million. In 2008 to 2018, the World Health Organization, or WHO, has made a global youth tobacco survey representing 87% of the youth. It shows that about 12% of the global youth were using some kind of tobacco, and you could see that on the right side, on the right graph here, that the region that we're using the most of tobacco is Southeast Asia, right? It's where we are holding our conference now, so we better do something to stop this, right? I would say using some form of tobacco. So the conventional form is this one, right, the cigarettes. But these days, the big tobacco industries are not using this to promote the younger generation, but this one, the e-cigarettes. What are they? Well, they are the vape pen, mod box, jewels, or other things that I'll talk about. It's actually the electronic delivery systems, which are divided into the nicotine one and non-nicotine one. Well, how does it work? It's a cylinder-like or like rectangular shape device, and inside there is a liquid that contains nicotine or other harmful substances, and there were microprocessor that would heat the liquid and turn it into aerosol, and then the user inhaled it. Well, the one that is quite popular in the market is this one, ENS, the electronic nicotine delivery system, and they are e-cigarettes, vape pens, hookah, e-hookahs, e-shisha, e-pipes, e-cigars. As you can see on the right side are the one that is quite newer in the generation. The trade name that you might be familiar with are like IQOS, Juuls, or Plum, for example. It's quite very discreet in the younger generation these days use these instead. Well, the tobacco industry claimed that it's safer. Is it true? Of course not. Well, thanks for the tobacco-free kits. I got this from them. So one USB side dual port like this has the equal amount of nicotine as 20 cigarettes. So of course it's not safe. Well, and even though it's claimed that it's zero nicotine, it does contain some nicotine. As you can see, this is a research from Australia saying that even though it's nicotine-free on the trademark, it still has some amount of nicotine, and even a small amount of nicotine it can accumulate and cause, harmful effects. Why is nicotine such a big problem? Well, nicotine is an alkaloid chemical that could hit your brain in 10 to 20 seconds, and when it hits the brain secretes dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter that causes happiness, right? When the user inhale this and cause dopamine to release, the brain would also upregulate or increase the receptor of dopamine, and the user would be more tolerate to that amount of dopamine, and the user would need even more nicotine to need the brain to secrete more dopamine. So the user will tend to use even more nicotine, and the youth brain is quite vulnerable to nicotine. It could cause some brain development and a problem in brain development, and it's really easy to addicted for the youth. And even though I also talked about the non-nicotine ends, right? Even though they don't have nicotine, there was also some kind of harmful substances like metals, such as arsenic, cadmium, or carbonyl group like formaldehyde, or carcinogens which cause many other kinds of cancer. Well, these sounds toxic, right? Well, it's actually toxic. So move on to the next one. It's also other form of tobacco. Well, which one does not contain nicotine? I hope you have some answer in mind. I'll go over this. Well, number A is e-hookah or e-shisha, so it's some kind of ends too. Well, B is actually a literally true USB drive. It looks like ends, right? It looks like vape pen or jewels. Yeah. C and E, it's actually tobacco. C is chewing tobacco. E is nicotine pouch. D, it looks like some kind of marker, right? Some kind of highlighter pen, but it's actually a disposable pot, which is also some kind of end. F looks pretty harmless, but it's actually harmful. This one right here is the e-liquid with the slushy flavored, and so it's containing nicotine. So the answer is B. Well, you can see that USB drive and Joe is not much different. So don't trick you. Okay. This one's about 3 kids. They're published on Flavor Trap. So you could see that from this slide, it's really colorful. So which generation do you think it's attract to? Of course, it's kids and teenagers, right? Well, on the back here, they are flavored cigarettes. On the front here are the e-liquids that comes with any flavor that you could think of. And I say any flavor. Well, these ones are like gummy bear, Pop-Tart, or donuts, any kind of fruits, or even chicken and waffle. Well, who could imagine? Well, this is also another nicotine pouch. Well, it looks like mint, but it's not. It's nicotine. So other form of tobacco these days are not only ends, that they are also these things. Okay, before I end, I would like to end up with this slide. This one is the ends sale ends. You can see that the market size of Asia and Pacific in 2021 is about 3,000 million US dollars. And you can see that in Western Europe and other countries, about almost 10,000 million US dollars. And you can see that the trend is going up and up. This is from the WHO report on global tobacco epidemic. So we really need to stop this. Before I end up the slide, so this is the take-home messages. The ENDs contain nicotine, and even though it's not containing nicotine, it's also a lot of harmful substances make a serious health problem, and about 3 of 4 youth user would become adult user. So don't even start with ends. Thank you.
Thank you so much. ขอบพระคุณครับอาจารย์ Thank you so much, Dr. Saowaluk. That was an amazing time management that you had right there. Bravo.
I'm so sorry.
No problem. I also apologize for this technical problem that we have right now. And it just popped my head out of this conference room, and we have rain outside right now. So it could explain the things. It's not an excuse. But anyway, so let's move on to the next session from Dr. Wanchat Sukhajornlarp.